What's up, everybody? Welcome to another trade review. Today I traded CRM, Salesforce, traded the 220 calls, made about $1,000 today profit, and yeah, we had a great day. I'm gonna review the trade here today. Shout out to all the members in my Discord that took part in this trade. I'm also running a holiday sale on the Discord chat and the options course, so you can learn exactly how to trade and my strategy. And yeah, it's like 50% off, so go check that link down below. Now, let's get into the trade real quick. And there's a couple things we can note here on this CRM chart. So right now we're looking at a daily chart on CRM. That's how I kind of like to start, doing my analysis, start on the higher time frames, go down to the lower ones. But we could see back in August, we left this gap. Now, this is important to note because more recently, we saw kind of a similar move down. We gapped lower because of a bad earnings. And there was actually some kind of news leaked before earnings that, said that CRM was not going to do so well on earnings. So it actually started selling off beforehand. But that's not important anymore. But where we did come down to and catch support was right at this gap fill, okay? So typically that's what you'll see happen. You'll see something gap up, and then sooner or later it'll come back down to fill the gap, and that's where it'll find its support and continue its move back to the upside. That's kind of what we're seeing here today. So we did leave another little gap here, not as big as the other one, but we're starting to fill this gap. You can see today's candle, today's action, we're like halfway through to fill that gap, and a gap fill would be somewhere around 238, 239-ish. So what we did today was take the 220 calls as we saw price breaking above this resistance here. So besides the gaps, there was another level that I was paying attention to. Let me just get this drawing tool off. And that was this 229.5, 230, we'll just call it, this level right here, okay? So we saw a support here. We saw resistance here, what was this, last week or 2 weeks ago? Couldn't break above 230. And then today comes along, we broke above 230, and that's when I got into these calls. So if we go on a shorter time frame, all right, so we see on the daily time frame, things are starting to pick back up. And if we go on the shorter time frame, I was watching the 230 level today, and that's where you're gonna see on these little bubbles. That's my entry and exit for CRM today. And what I did was I saw that 230 resistance, and we were coming up around like 12 o'clock. We broke right through it, went to like 230, almost 230 and a half. And then we got a little pullback. That was my entry right there, around 12:25. I bought the 220 calls, okay? So why did I buy the 220 calls? Well, I just like going in the money, delta 70. If you don't know what the Greeks are and what delta 70 means, that just means for those specific contracts, the 220 calls, they for every dollar the stock moves, the contracts move 70 cents. So that's just a general rule of thumb. What I like to do personally is to get those delta 70s. Whenever I'm going, long a stock, I'm going to get the delta 70 calls. And that's just the rule of thumb that I use and works well for me, because when you're buying the out of the monies, the delta is a lot lower. So if I went with the 230s or, something else or higher, 230, 235, which my target was 235, the delta is a lot lower. So you're going to make less on that move, okay? So, and obviously things change when the price goes up, the delta increases. But at that specific time, I was buying the delta 70s, and they cost me about $14.75, and I bought 10 of them. So it cost me about $14,000 that I put on the table today. And then literally within an hour, I got out. Those contracts went to $15.75, closed it out, and that was the $1,000 move on CRM. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Do I need to pull this up? If I go into monitor, we'll see the trade. So here's the fills up here, right? Fills, CRM, 1475, and sold them out right, where are they? Right here, 10 of them at 1575, okay? Disregard the other positions. I sold some GBTC today just to lock in some gains. That's like a Bitcoin stock. And then MVIZ, this thing has just been pumping, so got a little swing after hours. Probably gonna close real quick. And yeah, that's pretty much that. But you can see on CRM, that's where most of the action was today. $1,000 on the day, right? So yeah, that was the trade. Why did I get out up here? 231. Well, it was just a quick runner. I made about 10%, a little less on my position, so I was fine with that. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did. So was able to spot the patterns, was able to see when this thing was breaking its resistance level, took the position, had the confidence to click the buttons and get into the trade, and then finding a spot to get out, which was $1 more than what I paid for the contracts. I just used that general $1 move as a target, $1,000 profit. But that was it. That was pretty much the whole trade in a nutshell. And yeah, that's how I made $1,000 on CRM today. Just trading the naked 220 calls. All right. Taking it easy before the new year. Not really looking to get into any longer term stuff until next year. So really just doing more shorter term stuff like this. If you want to, get involved and take part in my Discord and learn how I'm doing this firsthand, get into the Discord, get that holiday sale that that's going around right now. So I put the link down below for that. Feel free to check it out. If you don't, catch me on here on YouTube, and I'll just keep posting these free videos after the fact, right? So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.